Hey neighbor, welcome back to Beyond ARTV. My name is John, and since I'm wearing green today, you know we're talking about the jolly green giant themselves, Spotify. Of course, the streaming giant rose to prominence during the 2010s decade, so it makes sense that they now have released their own personal Spotify Wrapped for the decade, and of course for 2019 as well. So in this video, I'm going to be reacting to the most streamed songs and artists of the entire decade and of this year. I'm definitely still going to be doing my video over on the main channel where I react to my most streamed music of 2019 and of the decade possibly as well, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're subscribed to the main channel, but of course I'm reacting to Spotify's own streaming numbers and data today. If you do enjoy this video, then do me a favor, drop a like on it, subscribe if you're new to the neighborhood, and let's get right into this because I don't think it'll take too long, but then again, I don't know how much data Spotify are planning on presenting to us. What the world listened to in 2019. It's highlighted in green. I actually like the way that looks. The one up top was a little bit annoying, that graphic that they show up here, but still, this is pretty nicely done. Now, up first, we see the top stream artists of the entire year. We have number 1, Post Malone, number 2, Billie Eilish, and number 3, Ariana Grande. This doesn't really surprise me, although my mind was like, well, I guess Drake will just somehow get it again, but no, that actually didn't happen. Post Malone over Billie Eilish kind of surprises me, but then again, Sunflower was such a gigantic smash, and obviously he dropped Hollywood's Bleeding. That was an album bomb, a tank to be reckoned with in and of itself. I loved a lot of songs on there, and I think a lot of people connected with them, and obviously the star power that his name covers. I mean, it's obvious that maybe he would be up there in the top 3, but the number 1 spot? Yeah, cool, I guess. Billie Eilish at number 2. Yeah, I kind of thought she would be number 1 if it wasn't Drake. And then Ariana at number 3 definitely makes sense. I really did enjoy her Thank You Next album, but unfortunately, I'm sure a lot of the streams came from 7 Rings, and y'all probably know how I feel about that one. I don't know how I haven't seen any spoilers for this list yet, but thank God I didn't. Let's move on to the top streamed song, Seniorita at number 1. No, man. Seniorita, and then Bad Guy and Sunflower. Wow. Not too surprising on the top 3. I mean, I just talked about Sunflower. I knew how big that song was worldwide, so I kind of thought that would be 2 or 1, but Bad Guy at number 2 definitely makes sense. I guess I'm happy that it wasn't like some stupid trap song or whatever just up there, or something that got popular on TikTok or whatever. But we do have Seniorita at number 1. And while I do not hate that song, I know so many people hate that song, it is a future classic grocery store staple that's going to be blasting out at Walmart all hours of the night. And it's kind of boring. Their chemistry isn't exactly amazing on the track, but I still don't hate it. I mean, it's kind of got a nice instrumental on it. I see why it reached a large audience, so I'm not gonna be like super angry, I guess. Next up, we have the top streamed album, which was When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go by Billie Eilish. Very nice. Well done, world, I guess. Do you want a round of applause? Billie definitely had her breakout year. I mean, last year was huge for her for sure, but just looking at like that Vanity Fair interview that she's done each and every year for the past 3 years, seeing her blow up, the numbers increase, the size of her concerts, her followers on Instagram, everything like that, I really do love what she's doing. I loved this record as well. If not one of my favorites of the year, definitely an honorable mention because there were so many fantastic releases. So to see a really good album being streamed so much, it's nice. I know her fan base is toxic at times. I mean, all fandoms can be. Because it's so massive, there's going to be a lot of people that you see, but don't let that deter you from her message and her music. The top breakout artist, who would have guessed? Lizzo, Lune, Lil Nas X. I don't really like the way they're doing this GIF thing here and the way that it's all rolling out. Lizzo, who would have guessed? I don't listen to her because apparently I should be unemployed because I'm a music critic. And also Lune, I do not know. All I can think of when I see that, Lune, is like the Family Matters thing. It's like, it's Lune.
That's Lune. It's French.
Lil Nas X, I mean, duh. You'd have to be living in a glass coffin underground, like far, far away from here in Transylvania or some shit. If you didn't know that Lil Nas X was a breakout artist this year, virtually no one knew him until like December of last year, early this year. Thanks TikTok, I guess. That's said with a heavy dose of sarcasm. Okay, I'm slowly scrolling down here and I see past decade, so I think we're moving into the decade end portion of this. Top stream song not released in the past decade, Bohemian Rhapsody. Okay, this is still for 2019. Okay. Not surprising at all. Not at all. I mean, obviously the movie Bohemian Rhapsody blew the hell up. I thought it was good, but nowhere near as great as Rocket Man, the Elton John biopic. Most repeated song to come out of the Southern Hemisphere, Dance Monkey. Oh, I know she's from Australian, Tones and I. Oh, I can't stand that girl's voice. I really can't. It's so annoying. Again, this is something that's only blowing up because of TikTok. It's like the Vine songs from back in the day that I hated them. And this is definitely better on a musical level, but I can't with the vocals. I can't do it at all. Whoa there, Spotify. They're trying to give me some spoilers there. Let me just skip right on over this. I see that we actually have a decade wrapped. We're going to get straight to that. Spotify's top list for 2010 to 2019. Now, up first, we have the most streamed artist of the decade global. Drake, number 1. Who would have fucking seen that coming? It's just like a freight train running me straight over. Just lay me down on the tracks. Of course his lazy ass was. I mean, Drake had some good stuff at the top of the decade, but after that, man, I can't really do it. Ed Sheeran, Post Malone, Ariana Grande, and Eminem. Okay, Eminem sliding his way in there at the bottom. That is great, but also kind of surprising. I mean, he definitely always had an impact when he dropped his stuff. And obviously, some of the tracks had bigger impact, like in other countries. In the UK, I know like River with Ed Sheeran was a big hit, even though I didn't really care for that album. Much Shit All Revival. But Kamikaze after that, yeah, awesome. The Marshall Mathers LP 2, again, fantastic. And I sometimes forget, I guess, how many albums he actually did have that came out in this decade. Ed Sheeran, Post Malone, and Ariana Grande should come as no surprise. I think that Ariana had a really solid decade overall, so I'm fine with that, and Post Malone as well. They both have more good songs than bad by far. Ed Sheeran, I'm very iffy on at this point, but I did revisit like Multiply recently. It's still a solid album. A lot of great songs on there like Photographs, so it is what it is. It could be a lot worse. Most streamed female artists of the decade global. Ariana Grande, of course, since she was in the top 5 already. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Sia. Okay, I always forget her worldwide appeal that she really does have. I think she's Australian. And also Beyonce. So definitely a lot of names that honestly could have come out last decade as well. I mean, Beyonce, Sia, Taylor Swift, and Rihanna all dominated the 2000s as well. So to see their hits from their back catalog and even new ones racking up, I mean, Rihanna really didn't release that much material in the 2010s decade. So that shows you her star power right there. Ariana at number 1, again, not surprising. Taylor Swift, not surprising either. Sia, I think, is the only real surprise here. The most streamed male artists of the decade, of course, Drake, Ed Sheeran, Post Malone, Eminem, and The Weeknd. I mean, we pretty much already knew that. You scroll back up, 4 out of 5 were male. So you go back down, Drake, Ed Sheeran, Post Malone, Eminem, and then The Weeknd. The Weeknd is the only new addition to the list. And yeah, I'm a fan. I actually just the other day was revisiting Trilogy. It's so good. I am a big Weeknd fan overall. I mean, Starboy was spotty as an album, but his new tracks, Blinding Lights and Heartless, both really good. I'm excited for his comeback. Now we move to the most streamed tracks of the decade worldwide, Shape of You by Ed Sheeran. Oh no, please, Ed. Can that one just go away? I mean, I definitely like the more stripped down version of that, but that song was like everywhere. It was literally like you couldn't get any privacy from it. You're like running away and it's chasing you down and it's like, the club isn't the best place to meet a lover. And you're like, no, Ed, I know that. You've told me about 1,000,000 times. One Dance. Oh my God, that boring ass song. Rockstar featuring 21 Savage. Yeah, that's definitely a jam. Closer by Halsey and the Chainsmokers. About coughed up a lung on that one, still trying to get over it, and Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, everyone's favorite wedding playlist track. Oh wow, the monotony here. Yeah, I only like one of these songs, so it is what it is. Well, there definitely were a few shocking moments throughout the list, but overall, I can't say that I personally had any jaw drop moments that were just like, oh wow, I didn't see that coming. I mean, yes, there were a few that I didn't see coming, but also, I mean, you're pretty predictable, world. I mean, everybody's streaming the same old songs over and over again. Give somebody new a chance. And I know that you're gonna say, we did that. Billie Eilish is pretty new. Yes, Lizzo is new as well. But also, like, you know, a little bit more variety. That's what we need on the charts. That's what I'm hopeful for as we go into the next decade. But then again, with TikTok being the beast that it is, I don't see that happening. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please drop a like on it. It goes a long way if you did enjoy the content today, and subscribe for the love of music. Remember, you don't want to miss out on seeing my reaction to my Spotify Wrap for 2019, so make sure you're subscribed to my main channel, ARTV. That's coming out very soon. If you want to see last year's in the meantime, then tap right here, or tap here for another recent video I did about streaming. All of my social media accounts, including my Patreon, are down below, and I will see you soon for more on Beyond ARTV.